Hello again. So these videos probably are not going to increase that much in quality. And sorry, I realized that everything creaks because it's all antiques and my antique chair is very broken. So I thought I'd do a little update video on my contortion story since that ended, or the last one was posted in January 2022. So I guess I'll discuss a lot of things happen in 2022, including becoming officially a professional contortionist. So I had a lot of hopes for contracts. I did get to perform my act for the opening of l'Annexe, which is sort of an adjunct to Le Monastère, a circus venue in Montreal. And that was really great. I worked on it a lot. It's gotten a lot better since my handstands have gotten better as well. So I did film it and it's posted on my YouTube channel. I wanted to do it again as well because I got some feedback from one of my coaches for like working with a prop and things like this. So I probably will try to refilm it eventually. And yeah, so in February of 2022 till March, I went to London. I went back to London, one of my favorite cities. And that was really great because January in Montreal in 2022 was very difficult. It was extremely cold. We had another lockdown with a curfew, and that's really caused a lot of anxiety for me. And yeah, so it was a bit stressful. I had, on a personal note, a lot of not so fun roommate situations during the pandemic. So going to London where restrictions were quite loose, it was just a breath of fresh air. I just felt like I was a human again, and my body responded really well. I was having difficulty training in January 2022. A lot of stiffness and things that I realized were caused by my soul being crushed by the weight of winter and lockdowns and isolation and things like this. So it was really nice to go out and be human, and my body was very bendy and felt amazing. Throughout the end of 2021 and 2022, I dealt with a cyst on my chin, which must have been caused by an infection from training skills on the floor and scratched. And most contortionists do have, and I still have, it's a bit red sometimes. I'm going to see another plastic surgeon this coming week about it. But it grew into a cyst. I took antibiotics 2 rounds in 2022, one in February. And the cyst sort of died down and went away. But then I got offered a contract for the summer. So that was working with Les Productions Haute Vol on a big musical show with my now good friend Caroline Roberge as my duo partner. And we went to Virginia for the summer from the end of May till just the beginning of August to do this show. The cyst got worse through that show. I was super motivated to build up my strength when I came back to Montreal from London. So although I always have a few weeks where I feel really down and I miss Europe, I got back on my feet and started training more. I met one of my regular coaches, Anna Ostapenko. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see me tag her a lot in stories and things like this. And she's a Ukrainian hand balancer. I thought she was a contortionist at first, actually, because Laurence Racine, one of my coaches for contortion, who's Samantha Hollis's coach choreographer for her Sam's show. Sam told me to train with her, with Laurence, and Laurence told me to train with Anna, and it's been really, really great for my handstands and my bendy handstands as well as straight. So I started training with Anna in I think around May 2022. And so she's now my handstand coach. And then in late May, we went for this contract. It was really intense and amazing in so many ways. The company I worked for, Les Productions Haute Vol, is amazing. I cannot speak highly enough of them. And my colleagues were great. Everybody was super nice. My duo partner, Kahali, obviously is such a sweetheart. I loved working with her, and honestly could not have survived the grueling summer that it was doing 4 shows a day, 6 days a week without her optimistic silliness and laughing a lot while warming up for the 4th time in a day and getting what we call show drunk. It's just you basically get drunk off being so tired. But I was dealing with a lot of like some shoulder issues and just trying to survive, and my cyst grew quite large and inflamed, and it burst on stage early in the contract, I think in late June, early July or something. And on show 3 I came off stage, I was bleeding and open. I had other issues going on. Like I said, my left shoulder was really bothering me, and I tripped up or felt a like a twinge doing the first forearm stand in our act, and just kind of signed to Karali that we had this end shape where chest stand and handstand, and we would do like 2 shows each handstand, 2 shows each chest stand. And I was supposed to do the handstand, but then I just got scared with my shoulder, and I hadn't really warmed up my neck and chest stand as much as I would have liked. And I sort of rolled onto my chin, and I came off stage. It was bleeding and stuff. But I honestly cannot stay that bendy and warm 4 shows a day, like basically the entire day, 6 days a week. It was brutal, and my body really suffered for that in a way. So I took a month off when I came home, or no, not a month off. I should have maybe taken a month off. I took a week off, and then slowly started back training with Anna. And it was just hard coming back because I didn't have work and my body was suffering, and I sort of lost a lot of students during the summer, and my confidence was really low. And so the fall was quite the fall and the winter, this winter was quite challenging for a lot of those reasons. I did a lot of shoots. I applied for some grants, which I got, and I mentioned in the previous video, for training with Sam, my contortion coach / best friend, and to learn stilts walking, just through actually Sam's suggestion to have something other than contortion, because contortion is a very difficult skill to do and requires a significant amount of warm-up and proper cool down, which we didn't do this summer enough of, just due to certain circumstances. So, and which I regret. And I think it's really important to advocate for yourself as a contortionist. Just really make sure you have proper things in place for your warm up and cool down. And Kali was really adamant that we would just do contortion for 3 hours max within the day. So that was really useful, because 3 hours, if you pass that threshold, she had some issues with that, and I definitely did too. So it's been a really sort of roller coaster ride with my physical and emotional self. It's been hard financially, which has sort of hindered me from traveling, which is something I'd really love to do, especially in Canadian winter. I really hate Canadian winter. My dream is to live half the year, the winter, in Europe. Ideally, if I had my wish, it would be London. I also love Rome, but London, I just love London. So if I could get back there as soon as possible, it would be great. But yeah, so yeah, in my journey, it's been this 2022 was really, I got my handstands a lot stronger. The summer I lost a lot of skills, to be honest, and a lot of strength just trying to maintain doing 4 shows a day, and there was no time or energy to train anything else. My schedule looked like getting up in the morning, doing a little bit of physio conditioning, some handstands. I would triple task. I would go on the treadmill in the little gym we had, and I would do my little wrist exercises with the Resbo I have. It's this contraption for like strengthening your wrists and forearms. my singing exercises, because I learned singing during the pandemic. I learned to sing during the pandemic, and I keep it up because I enjoy it, and sort of walk at the same time. And then I would do some sprints and then go to the pool for like 20 minutes, 20 minutes before heading to the park, to the theme park, to do warm-up number 1, which was the longest, and do show 1. Then we would have an hour between shows, so either I would have a little bite to eat, go to the washroom, lie down like a dead person, and then half an hour before the show we would do warm up for the next show and do our act, which luckily was at the beginning of the show. And we would be on stage for fire safety for the other act, so we would come off stage, change quickly into like these explorer outfits, and then go back on stage to do to take the fire from the fire artist, put it out, and then start it all over again until the last show, when we would do cool down. Towards the end of the contract, well, I had this chin injury and I had to be flown back to Montreal to see a plastic surgeon here. Otherwise it would have cost too much in the US. And so I flew back for 4 days to get that taken care of. I had to take a second dose of antibiotics for that. And then when I came back, it was healing up really nicely. And the directors of the park announced that they didn't realize that we were doing shows in the middle of the day from 3:30 onwards with no shade in the blasting sun of Virginia. So yeah, they were like, you're gonna do 2 shows a day and 2 meet and greets, which were just walking around with the public and saying hello and taking pictures. And me and Kahani protecting the one of the Stoltz walkers from teenagers literally wanted to hit them down, and we heard them. It was, scary. So that was a very big relief for me and Kahani. Like, we were so happy about that, and I don't know if we would have really survived the last few weeks of doing, I think, 24 shows in a week or something like this. But it was a really great learning experience. And then when I came back, I applied for En Piste, which is a collective of professional circus artists in Montreal, and I got that. And through that, I got some grants for training or reimbursement to train with Anna, and the grants that I spoke about earlier. And for things that are coming up, I haven't done a lot of performances. I did a Halloween gig, I did a Christmas gig that was really strange, and I filmed my act. I had a lot of up and downs, like I said. And now as spring comes on, I think I mentioned in other videos, I did a gig as a mermaid, which I'm really excited about. I'd love to get more of those. It was amazing. I already swim like a mermaid without a tail, so my friends call me mermaid. So it was just like a perfect thing. And I don't know, I'd love to do maybe a stilt walking gig, although I do it with somebody else. I'm good when I'm walking and things. Apparently I learned really fast. And as a dancer, I guess it's just takes a little, the first class, it took a little while to get my bearings and not to be super terrified. And then after that, it was just really fun. I had a great teacher, Yves Landry, who's really great for stilt walking. He's a professional stilt walker in Montreal. And now my friend Lorenzo and I just finished a grant that we applied for with the Canada Arts Council to create a duo act together. And that's sort of the exciting plan for 2023. That would be in the fall. And I got accepted to perform at Open Day at the St. John's International Circus Festival in Newfoundland. And I got to go to that actually this past September in 2022, which was the first time. My dad's from Newfoundland. I hadn't been back since I was 15 years old. So that was really great. And to go with my best friend Sam and party and see people and meet people and watch some amazing circus. That was just really, really inspiring. And see my family and spend time with my family and see the ocean. It was great. So I really want to go back, even if I don't perform in September. And I recommend to anybody who is like into circus and wants to travel to really go to that festival. It's amazing. So that's sort of the plan. I got offered a gig for Club Med this summer, but I declined because of just expenses, and I can't in my apartment, and the fact that it doesn't pay enough to justify going. But I'd be interested maybe in doing it like in the winter if I can't find anything else. So this summer I'm still don't have any really performance gigs lined up. I dealt with a lot of like confidence issues in the winter, so I'm sort of trying to hype myself back up and trying not to believe my perfectionist or pessimist mindset. But I am now 32. I just turned 32. So as an adult contortionist, just as a circus artist and the life that it is, been questioning a lot of things, but I'm so passionate about it. It's just like the love of my life, contortion and circus and stuff. So I don't want to let it go just yet. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'm still, things are kind of, I guess, up in the air. I have a lot of different hopes for things to happen in terms of career, obviously also in my personal life, but that's where things stand in terms of my contortion journey. Who knows, maybe what I will be saying next year or in the next 6 months about everything. Hopefully, I would like to spend some time in Montreal in the summer because it's quite nice here and I love swimming at the pool. But I would love to have a few gigs, a few performances in contortion, not only in other things. Obviously, I want as many gigs as I can possibly handle that are exciting, artistic, with nice people, good conditions, modeling gigs, contortion gigs, dance gigs, mermaid gigs, obviously, and maybe like some stilts walking work as well. I'm performing this coming Friday for a friend's event, but that's just going to be more dance. And I'm filming some stuff and doing a few shoots this week with first Lorenzo and then my friend Anna Pratsu, who's also a contortionist in Montreal, or she just moved to Montreal. She lived with me for a bit, which was a lot of fun to live with a fellow circus artist and friend. So yeah, so that's kind of where things stand. I'm feeling really hopeful now that it's spring, so I feel I really want to get more into like the YouTube thing, and I know I don't really love filming that much. It's good when I'm alone and I don't feel super awkward about things, or about talking to my screen. Which is talking to whoever's watching, the 3 people watching this thing. So yeah, so if, like I said, if you have any questions, comments, if you want me to talk about other things, I do have a bit of knowledge about a bit of things, like every human, and yeah, if I can share anything that's useful or helpful, or you want to just listen to me talk, I can create that content. I love to chat as a Gemini rising. So yeah, so that's it, and I hope that this wasn't too rambly and it made sense. I hope the story of contortion and circus continues and evolves in a beautiful way for me, and if you're starting on your journey, I hope it's evolving well for you as well. Injuries definitely happen, and knowing how to take care of your body is really important, and knowing that you will heal as well, and that you will injure yourself in life, whether you try not to or you're doing things that are risky. It's really asking yourself, is it worth it for you? And it's like love, you know, you're gonna get hurt and it's worth it the right person or whatever. So for what you're passionate about, at least for me, it's I want to really go for trying to get as good as I can in contortion and giving it as much as I can, even if I don't have the same skills as someone who's been doing it for a long time or who has just certain aptitude for it. I might not ever be the best, but I'm just trying to be me and to bring that. And be an artist is really difficult because you're always kind of questioning yourself, and as a sensitive Piscean human being, I'm always sort of questioning myself, but it's trying to be and speak your truth. And for me, using my tool, my paintbrush, my pencil, it's my body and my movement. So expressing, I want to try to express something with that. So yeah, I'm also building an act right now. I'm working on that. So a new act that's a bit more with more handstands in it. And yeah, I hope that things just keep springing and evolving. And yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. I hope I inspired at least 1.5% or something. I'm sure this won't be watched by very many people, but yeah, if it is, then I hope that I just like sprinkle a little goodness in the world. That's all I want to be doing. And it's just, as an artist, as a human being, just put a little bit of good out in the world. Hey, yeah. So remember, be kind, and yeah, try to spring a little goodness into your life and the people around you and your world. Yeah. So peace.